Hello, good evening, welcome to another video. So this is week 3, day 1. So starting off with my board jumps now. First week that I did these was 6 sets of 1, last week 7 sets, so going up to 8 sets this week, and yeah, just working on increasing the distance really. So last week I went up to 5 feet 4 inches. So this week I thought I'd go a bit more, so starting off at 5 foot 5. And yeah, that was quite comfortable, quite easy. So 5'7" now, or 1.7 meters, and finishing up with 5'9" or 1.75 meters. I'm 6 feet tall, so hopefully I'm hoping to surpass that, and then I can long jump more than my height. I know that may seem like not much to some people, but I'm 320-pound body weight, and I think my best was like 7 feet 1 inches. So I really want to I haven't done board jumps for a while, but I really want to build up to hopefully surpass where I was before. Moving on to axle press. So I live in the UK and it's really hot here, and I don't think they had the aircon on today. It was very hot in the gym, very hot. But that strong man, you deal with it, and I like it, and all it makes you tough. So with these axle push presses, it's been all right, but I did start getting wrist pain. For those who follow my videos, I did state that in the past when I've done axle press, it's really aggravated my wrist and it hurts my wrist. Not so much with log press because that's like a neutral grip, but every time I do axle press, it does start to hurt my wrist. So up till recently, it hasn't really bothered my wrist, but now that I'm gradually starting to get into higher weights, I'm starting to feel my wrist a bit more. So last week when I did these, I did 95 kilos, 2 sets of 2. So the program today was to do another 2 sets of 2 with higher weight. So I was debating whether to go 100 or higher. So 90 was all right, so I went up to 100. I thought I'll see how I'll get on with 100. Notice I'm now wearing a belt. For the first couple of weeks I wasn't wearing a belt, but I have now gone to the belt. So we're at 100 kilos now, or 220 pounds, and this wasn't easy, but it was fairly comfortable. It did hurt my wrist though, so notice here I'm now wearing wrist wraps, and that did help a little bit. So 105 kilos now, or 231 pounds for 2 sets of 2. So this is the first set, and I'm cleaning each rep because in the comp that I'm doing in September, or the comp that I might be doing in September, I haven't signed up to it yet. With axle press, you will have to clean each rep in the competition. You can't just clean it and then press for reps. You have to clean each rep. So I'm basically practicing that here by cleaning, push pressing, going to the floor, and then having to pick it up from the floor and clean all over again. So yeah, 105. Like I say, it wasn't easy, but it was reasonably comfortable. So yeah, next week may go to 110, maybe a little higher depending on how I feel. So yeah, went up to 105 with push press. Now we're on strict press. So just following the same principle that I've been doing, which is 3 sets of 3 for push press. So last week I went up to 80, so 85 here, and then 90. The first couple of weeks was quite easy. This was a little bit harder, to be honest, actually. This not to failure, but I certainly did feel it. The first couple of weeks that I did this, I mean, last week I went up to 80 and that felt really easy. This time, this was not easy. 95 kilos. This is the third and final set of triples now with axle strict press. And like I definitely did feel it. It wasn't easy, but at the same time, it wasn't a failure. So I probably will next week. Yeah, I may go to 100, but I might do all 3 sets at 100 rather than increasing the weight because I'm starting to feel the weight now. It's not so easy now. So after that, I did power raises, 3 sets of 12, but I didn't film that. That's just for shoulder stability. So now close grip incline board press. So the first week I did 20 reps with 75, and then last week I did 20 reps with 85, and that was hard, but probably about an RPE 9. So what I've done now is I've dropped down to 80, and so the first 2 weeks I did 20 reps. So this is week 3, so 15, and then next week I'll do next week's a deload, but the next week that I do this, which will be week 5, we'll go 15 reps again, but with higher weight, 90, possibly 95. So 80 for 15, and yeah, that felt easy. So yeah, definitely 90, 95 next time. I don't want to push it too much because obviously I'm going to be dropping to 10s on week 6. So I am trying to hold back on the weight. So same weight again for a drop set, but this time just 8 reps. I like to do 15 and then cut the reps in half and do 3 sets of 8. So that's what I'm doing here. 80 was easy, so I just decided to go slightly higher and go for 82.5. So the first 2 weeks I would do 20 reps, and in the first week I'd do 3 sets of 10. So do my 20 rep set, then cut that number in half, which is 10, and do 3 sets of that. So I've basically done the same here, did 15 and then cut that number in half, which is, well, 7.5, but I've rounded off to 8 and then just done my 3 sets of 8. And 82 was quite easy, so yeah, just finishing off with 85 kilos now. So this is the third and final drop set after my big 15. And then some loo raises for more shoulder stability. So we're up to 10 kilos now, or 22 pounds per hand. So the first 2 weeks I did 12, so I've dropped down to 10. As I say, next week is going to be a deload week, and then on week 5 I'll still keep these loo raises in, and it'll still be 10 reps, but I'll probably see if I can go a bit higher. Obviously 10 kilos is quite heavy for this, so yeah, I'll see if I can do 12.5 kilos. I won't go any higher than that. So next is some conditioning. So sled push here. This sled push is 72.5 kilos. So I'm basically just doing 10 minutes of this. There we are, 15 metres. And basically, yeah, so I've set myself the goal of just trying to do as much work as I can in 10 minutes. So this is a form of EDT training, or escalated density training, where I try and do as much work as I can in a specific amount of time. So I'll give myself 10 minutes to basically do as many lengths of that track as I can. So that's 2 lengths done, or 30 metres, and 40 seconds have passed. So it was very hot in the gym, and this was really hard. So the reason I picked 72.5 kilos is that's exactly half my body weight. I weigh 145 kilos, or 320 pounds. So for this sled, I thought, okay, I'm not sure what weight to pick. So I thought, okay, we'll just do 72.5 kilos, or 160 pounds, and that sled that I'm pushing is half my body weight. So that's 11.5 stone in old money. 45 metres now. I'd probably say the first 4 to 6 runs weren't too bad, but even then I was feeling it. It wasn't just a heat, but doing this, my legs were hurting, my back was hurting. This is a very physically demanding exercise, the sled push, and I'm pushing it over this AstroTurf stuff, and it makes it a lot harder. Or green felt, I'm not sure exactly what material that is, but all I know is it's very rough, and it does make pushing the sled much harder. So I was just going to do like 1 length and do like an EMOM and do like 1 length every minute on the minute, but I thought that might be too easy. So I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll just do what I can, and then that sets the mark, and then the next time I do this, obviously I'll have something to work against, because I can look back at this and go, right, I did X amount of metres in 10 minutes, so the next time I do this I'll give myself 10 minutes but try to get more work done in, and hopefully that will help bring my conditioning up. Like I say, this is a very tough exercise. You can, if you look carefully, you can see how wet my t-shirt was, just the sweat dripping off my back, and I'm quite a large fellow, so I do sweat quite easily. So that's 90 metres done, which is 6 lengths of the track, or 3 lengths if you go there and back. And with the poles, obviously I need to change them over and all, so that makes it take a little bit longer. very difficult to keep doing this. As you can see, I'm stopping and resting there. This is very tough. I'm basically just pushing it down to the end. So as you can see, the poles are at the end, and now I take the poles out, switch them so that I can push the sled from the other end. This particular sled that I'm using, this is actually quite new. I think this has only been in the gym for a couple of months now. Actually, it's not been there for very long at all, to be honest. So there we are, 120 meters. I think this is actually my first time using it. Actually, I've seen lots of other people use it, but I think it's actually the first time I've used it. So last week I did see the C2 weigh, the Concept 2 weigh machine. The first couple of weeks, I did do stationary bike as well for conditioning, but I like to switch it up and do different stuff for conditioning. So next week I'll probably go back to the Concept 2 rower, and I might alternate between doing the Concept 2 weigh machine and doing this sled push. This sled push is very tough though, and it's not something I'm going to want to do a lot of. Now that I've actually done this and seen how hard it is, I'm probably going to be dreading it next time actually. For those of you that have never done this, just imagine pushing your car and just pushing it until you can't push it anymore, and then you stop, you get your breath back, and then you push it again some more. This is very hard, and obviously, unlike a car, this sled doesn't have wheels, so it literally does feel like pushing a car. Even though I've only got 72 kilos on there, you don't need a lot of weight. Even a small amount of weight will punish you on this. And when I did this, as you can see, I was very quick with the first 6 to 8 runs, but as you can see, my rest times are getting longer now because I'm just really hating this at the moment. So going for it again, I've got the timer at the end where the yoke is, so I know how much time has passed, because I can't record the time on my phone because obviously I'm using it to video this session. But I've got a stopwatch and I've got a little timer, so even if I don't have the use of my phone, I can still time myself and know how long it's taken me to do this. So it's at this point, my legs were really hurting, my back was hurting, and I did feel like my heart was going to leap out of my chest. Actually, I was sweating buckets. The sweat was just pouring off me. This is not a very sled push is not a very pleasant thing to do. I actually find it harder than the Concept 2 rower. It's like I say, it's definitely harder than any cardio you might do, because it's a full body exercise. I'm pushing with my whole body, and I'm pushing it over very rough terrain that just doesn't want to cooperate. And I will do this again. Like I say, I like a challenge, and this is really good for strongman. It's going to give me that conditioning that I need for strongman. As I've previously stated before, when it comes to strongman, my strength, my static strength has always been better than my fitness. I mean, you could give me a competition where you've got like log, deadlift and a medley, and I'm probably likely to do better at the log and the deadlift than I am the medley. Normally moving events is sometimes where I come unstuck. I remember a few years ago I was having a competition with a friend that I know, and I could beat him statically at the log and the deadlift, but he was faster than me at the moving events. He just had better speed, better conditioning than what I did. So although I was stronger, he was a faster mover, and he just had better fitness and conditioning than me, and he would always beat me on the moving events. I would beat him on the static events like deadlift and log, and he would beat me on the moving events. So yeah, it was quite interesting, quite a contrast really. He was quite a bit lighter than I was, and where I'm heavily built, I'm more of a strength guy really. But although I'm big, I still want to be able to move well. I still want to be able to have a bit of speed in me. Especially now I'm in my 40s, I'm quite health conscious really, because weighing £320 is not something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. At some point I will when I'm done with strongman, I will have to drop the weight for health reasons. But I'm not done with strongman yet. I think I've got a few more years with this. I'm still making gains. I'm still getting stronger. I'm still loving it. I'm still enjoying it. Maybe at some point I might lose interest in it. I don't know. I don't think I will. I mean, I'll probably train for the rest of my life. I think even when I'm an old man, I'll still try and do something and really try and keep old age at bay. And I don't want to get old before my time. I don't want to let old. It would be nice to be like 75, 80 years old and still be able to move well and still have some decent fitness rather than be in a wheelchair or have to use a walking stick. It would be nice if I could still just walk at that age. I know people that are in their 70s that can actually walk without the aid of a walking stick or whatever, and I want to be one of them people. I still want to be able to have some decent fitness and move well. Because sometimes when you get older, sometimes it's just a case of not so much that you're older, but the fact that some people just didn't do anything all their lives. They just sat around and didn't do anything, and eventually it does catch up with you. And like I say, I'm fighting it. I'm just trying to fight the battle and try to stay young for as long as I can. So I could have done all this a little bit quicker, but it's my first time, so I did kind of like take it a little bit easy. But I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, this was probably like an 8.5. Really, I could have done better than this, but I think on this last one I did rest a little bit too much. But I'm okay with that because it's the first time. I'm just setting the standard. So we just finished in the end. So I finished up with I did 210 metres in just under 10 minutes. So next time I do this, I can look at that and go, right, it's 210 metres to beat. So yeah, so coming to the end of the video now. So thank you guys if you've got this far. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to leave it here. So until next time.